Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Faith and Justice Podcast. I'm your man, the Right Reverend Dr. L. I know he's going to tease me about it, so therefore I just put it up there. Why waste time? How you doing, the Right Reverend Dr. B?
Just a servant,
Bishop?
sir. Just a servant,
Bishop?
sir. Just a servant, sir. Just a servant, man. Good to see you, sir.
It's good to see you, man. It's always good to see you, man.
Yes, sir. It is.
Yeah, you know that, right? It's good to see me, right?
Yes, sir. Good to be seen and not viewed, sir. There's a big difference.
That is definitely true. It's better to be seen than to be viewed. Absolutely, 100%.
Correct, sir.
How's your week been, man? Pretty good.
Pretty good. I mean, always a blur. We had our first outdoor service of 2026, so we had a good time. We missed your presence, but it was good.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad to hear you guys are outside. I've always enjoyed the outside services. Do you
Okay.
feel that you get a lot more onlookers, passersby who are interested when you do that
Definitely,
type of thing?
definitely a lot of onlookers, definitely a lot of pass-bys, but we just come to the place of one planet, one water, but God gives the increase, and that's how we live it. That's how we leave it, man.
Okay. All right. There's a
Mhm.
couple of videos that I wanted to kind of go over with you. I can't find one of them, but we'll
Okay.
do it. We'll do the best we can because I know you're pressed for time as normal. This is a brother. This is a busy man. Y'all need a book with this man because he is busy. He's always on the run. I get this dude for an hour, and it's like, man, okay, it goes by really, really fast.
Not
So,
true, sir. Not true, sir.
all right, okay.
I'm not the college professor. I'm not the one that does seminars around the world. I'm not the one that travels.
It's not me either. So I don't know. We got to find out
Oh,
who that is and how they get it
that
done.
is you, sir. You are a college professor, and you travel around the world. That is you.
I'm not doing seminars though. Come on now. I travel, yeah. Oh, I plan to travel. I plan to travel a lot
For
more than
example,
less busy.
people, watch this. Where you going next, Reverend? Right, Reverend Doctor.
Now you
Watch
want to
this,
put my
people.
business all on the street.
Watch this, people.
I think I want
Watch
to
this,
go
people.
to.
Where?
I think
Where?
I want to go to Panama next. Panama and then Peru.
My point was
Some
made.
other places.
My point was made, people.
Yeah.
You're talking about
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
There's a video, man. I really, really want to highlight here, man, but I can't seem to find it. But we'll get to it, man. Anyway,
Okay.
so before we get to it, let's put up something here that was sent. A question that was sent to me, or a question that was in the chat on a previous video. And listen, you guys, or at least the comment section, you guys make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe, and share. We're all the way up to 47 now. We got all the way up to 47
47 people.
Yeah.
We're
Listen. You know, we're slowly creeping up there. It's important you guys subscribe, share, and like the videos and all that kind of good stuff, right? That's not what I wanted to do. Where's the thing at? Oh, here it is. Make sure you like and subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Like and subscribe. All right. So here's the question that was asked of us in relation to the sex question that we had. Are the persons who would promise to engage in a particular act before marriage only to renege after marriage? Is it ethical to confirm with the previous spouse whether the person engaged in the act? So I had to get some clarification about this. What she's saying was, she's asking if you are in a relationship and you're choosing not to have sex before the relationship because you want to hold to your Christian values or religious values, whatever. And so the person says, yeah, okay, I'll do X, Y, and Z. But that person may have done, you don't know whether that person is going to renege after the wedding, or if they're gonna, everything we talked about before, they're gonna, do the bait and switch and all that kind of stuff. She's asking, is it ethical to go to other persons to their exes and ask them about their sex life?
no. That's not no.
Okay. All right. Just a hard no. Okay.
Why are you bringing the X in? There are a reason why they are X. There's a reason why they are an X. So let's keep it that way. Okay.
So do you think that but again, I think a lot of people have a problem with the bait and switch because they want to be happy in in their sexual life. So how do you ensure that that they're going to get what they want in their sexual life? That's the question.
Well, the key is that's why you vet. That's why you take time to find out, is this person a person that can keep their word, and if they don't, then that's why you say yourself, well, if they can't keep the word about this, then they probably can't keep the word about sex as well down the road. So very simple. Very simple.
All right. I think I found that video here. All right. So I got a couple of videos here to I can't move this up. I can't move this up on the timeline here. Hold on. All right. So a couple of videos here. We'll start with this one here. And this we're going to do a reaction to it. We're just going to listen to a little bit about it. I'm going to fast forward to get to where it is. Present because this is a brother who I've just started to kind of look at more closely. And his name is Paul Elam. Have you ever heard of Paul Elam?
No, sir.
Paul Elam is a guy who they call him one of the OGs of uh, the red pill, and he is very critical of the red pill. And I'm assuming that you know what these terms mean. If you don't, I can certainly fill you in.
Red pill, blue pill. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. All
Mhm.
right. So let me just take a moment here to explain what the red pill is for anyone who is not very familiar. Um, uh, and a red pill is we take that term from the Matrix, uh,
Correct.
indicating that that there's sometimes some individuals who I gotta hold on here a second here. I'm having some technical difficulties here.
All right. I forgive you, sir.
All right. All right. So I had to close some stuff there. So red pill ideology comes from the Matrix, in which certain people, men in particular, are waking up to the realities of female nature, and they call that the red pill. Now, so you understand now female nature versus the blue pill, where they are more content to be who they are, stay where they are, and maybe whether they understand a blue pill, female nature and the nature of the environment, they're choosing to engage. Whereas red pill may choose not to engage and may choose to uh, do what they call men going their own way, save yourself, black man, going monk on a couple of different ideas, becoming a passport bro, etc., because they choose not to engage in the current climate of male-female relationships.
Okay.
And so that is there's probably a little bit more nuance to it than that, but that is that we'll leave it off there.
Okay.
Is there anything you wanted to add or subtract or anything like that?
Again, it's very important that number one, look like he has a wedding ring on. So that's good. That's a good start with me. Also, is understanding that because of people's experiences and circumstances, they're going to say things based on what they've gone through, right? So that's why it's very important that yes, there are women out there who have been hurt. There have been men out there that have been hurt. So I like to span the red and blue pill based on, based on the experiences of people, are based on the pill they take. That's number one. Number two for me is that find out why they pick the pill. A lot of time we just go right into, oh, they picked the blue, or they picked the red. Okay, can we calm down? Why did they pick the blue? Why did they pick the red? That's very important because now I'm learning you. I'm understanding you because in a relationship, that's what it's all about. It's really being totally connected with each other on a consistent basis, sir.
Okay, very good. So this is a brother ask a brother podcast. His name is Jeff St. James. He is a licensed clinical therapist. He's doing more work in the YouTube space. I think he eventually wants to get out of doing traditional therapy and become a life coach, I think.
Okay.
And we'll try to have him on one day. But he's a good dude. I went on the show. He came on mine. Good dude,
Okay.
young dude.
Nice
He's in
guy.
his 30s or so.
Okay.
So he was divorced before, and so that's just a little bit about him. But
Okay.
here we're going to fast forward here to this guy who he's talking to right here, and this is the guy Paul Elam. So we're going to listen to their interaction or react to it. If there's something that you want to react to, just just let me know and I'll stop it if you agree or disagree, and of course I'll do the same. So here we
Yes,
go.
sir.
Listen, man, we had to get the three horns out the way because you are one of my bigger guests coming through, man. So it's an honor to have you come through, man.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, Jeff.
Yeah. And shout out to Anya, man. Anya was a mutual contact, and she set this up. So kudos. And if you guys haven't checked out Anya's work on Instagram and on YouTube as well, guys, and her Substack as well, she definitely is based. She's with it, and I've already interviewed her for my platform, so feel free to support her. But hey, man, welcome to the show, bro.
Glad to be here.
So for starters, why don't we start with your background and what made you transition into getting into content creation, as well as discussing men's rights and issues, and also what was your like red pill moment?
Well, definitely, I'll start with the red pill moment. It's absolutely the moment that I read Warren Farrell's Myth of Male Power in 1993. I had been working in chemical dependency treatment for a long time. I had noticed that something was amiss in the difference in the way we treated men and women. But there was nothing I could put my finger on. And a friend of mine, a female, by the way, a therapist, told me about this book coming out, and I went and got it, and it literally changed my life. Everything that I couldn't put my finger on in the past, outlined, laid it out, made sense to me. And I was, in a way, doing content creation from that moment. I started writing letters to the editor. Some of them got published. Most of them did not. But I was trying to speak up about that. And an event led to that. It was after I read this book, I came into the facility that I worked in, and we had regular staff meetings. And I just posed a simple question to about 12 of my team members. That why was it, I asked, that with every new client that came into the facility, we assessed whether men had perpetrated domestic violence, if they had a history of being violent with the women in their lives. We assessed women for whether or not they'd ever been victims of domestic violence, but we didn't ask the reverse question to either sex. So I came into a meeting and I said, I'm just curious about this, because what I had done in the meantime is I talked to a few of my clients, and like the third guy I talked to said, oh yeah, I was passed out on the couch one night and she slammed me on the head with a fireplace poker, got 12 stitches in my head. And nobody had ever asked him about this. So
spot on that America is very good in talking about women's abuse, and we all know it's very, very true. But there are some men out there who've been slapped, hot grease on, a la Al Green, punched, and there is a norm that says if a man reports that, then he's a punk or effeminate, and that's so wrong. But that's the mindset of our culture today, that if a man is being hit, he can't take a hit. And I tell people in my counseling practice that if it's wrong for the man to hit the woman, it's wrong for the woman to hit the man as well. Just want to put that out there real quick. That's all.
I want to remind people of our last show. If you didn't go watch it, if you're a viewer, to go, make sure you go back and watch that. I think it was the last show in which we talked about Cheyenne Bryant and her treatment of Touré. What's funny about that? You laughing at Touré?
You love Miss Bryant.
I think that she exemplifies many of the problems that are going on with modern day dating. I think that she exemplifies a lot of the problems with modern day dating.
Okay.
There's a video I saw today. I didn't cue it up, but I can certainly find it, of her giving advice, presumably after all this has come out. There's a 30-year-old woman interviewing her, 30-year-old woman interviewing Cheyenne Bryant, asking her opinion. And the 30-year-old was saying to her, asking the question of how is it, how can I be sure that whoever I decide to marry is the one, versus me settling. I'm scared to settle. And so she is coming at, and so Cheyenne Bryant is now trying to answer this question to this 30-year-old woman about not settling. And she herself is 43 years old, walked away from at least two proposals. And I heard her say that she, on 2 different occasions, had men who were good men, making good money. And she said, for some reason, it just didn't come to, our season was over, using Christian language. This woman is out here giving advice, having never walked in these particular paths and shoes. That's my issue with her. And she's messing up other people.
Again, it is difficult for me to listen to people about relationships who are not in a relationship themselves. So it is. So I will be fair to say, you know, if you want to be humble, get married. All right. But if you're not in a marriage, it's hard for me to really take your words of advice. Now, now if you're widowed, I can deal with that. But if you are out here slinging it and whatever, then I have a problem.
Throwing it back. Guys sling, women throw it back.
That's correct, sir.
Just
All
saying.
right.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
All right. All right.
Go ahead. You something else you want
No,
to say?
no. That was it. That was it. That was it. Oh, well, it probably was 3 people that she denied because you probably was one of them. That's all.
Well, she never denied me. She wouldn't deny me. If I came on to her, she wouldn't deny me. So anyway, so here's what I'm saying about here's what I'm saying about this particular situation with Touré. Touré was in a very difficult situation in which he was being berated and talked to by the way that Cheyenne did it because of exactly what you said, that if you respond in a certain way, then now you're a punk. What's wrong with you? Why would you respond to a woman? It's effeminate to go after a woman. No man argued with a woman. And you can't stand up for yourself. And if you take it as he did, then you're seen as being weak. He lowered his head and he showed all these different qualities of being a beta male. And people said, I said that he was a beta male. I didn't say he was a beta male. I said he exhibited the qualities of being a beta male. People said that on my other platform, my other channel. I never said the man was a beta. I said he exhibited beta behaviors when he acted the way he did. Now, I admit as a man, it's difficult to stand up to a woman, not because we don't have the intellect to do it, but because if you do it, you're ostracized either way. That's my point.
Your point is valid, and that's why for a relationship to really work, you both have to go by the same rules. You both have to go by the same rules. If it's wrong for me to do it, it's wrong for you to do it. We must go by the same rules. When you don't go by the same rules, you're going to wind up failing every single time. Every single time. You got to go by the same rules.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want this on the screen here. Hold on.
All right, sir.
Hold on. I want to show you what I was talking about here.
I'm giving some music while he finds his thing, people.
I didn't know you could play that. All right, here we go. I'm going to play Cheyenne Bryant here for you so you can see the type of nonsense that she is getting here.
You love this girl, man. You really love her.
Yeah.
Be honest.
Do you have any advice for me? I'm a woman over 30, single, no children, and my fear is to settle. What advice do you have for me or other women over 30?
The only thing that's worse than being single is being somebody that wishes they were and they're married. And so you want to make sure that not settling means that when you marry, you're not sitting up there looking out your window as a married woman going, damn, I wish I was single. Now I can't because I have these beautiful kids and this family and I've settled and I'm in a place that I don't want to be in. See, as a single woman, you're not wishing to be out of anything. You're just, preparing to be into something, and you prepare yourself to be in something you want to be in. And so folks who settle end up being the ones that are saying, damn, I was tripping when I was single, but now I'm wishing I was. You don't want to be that person.
What do you think people are struggling with the most that this book directly addresses?
I think it's more about them getting their distorted narrative, which is how they think, in check, and realizing that you bring about what you think about, what you focus on magnifies. And if we can get our thoughts in check with the narrative that we want to live, which should be our promised land, then everything else lines up.
Do you have any advice for me?
So that's her. That's the advice that
Can I
she's
say
giving,
something?
and et cetera, et cetera.
Can I say
And all
something?
that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
How do we know that's not AI?
I don't know it's not AI. I don't
Okay.
know that.
Let's put it out there. Let's put it out there. Because AI is getting real good. I saw something the other day. I thought it was real. And it came back, oh, no, it's AI. So I just want to put it out there, sir. That's all.
You're right about that. I watched a video today. I didn't save it, but I saw a video today of there was a black woman who was saying some stuff and saying, I find a lot of white guys more attractive and stuff. And there was a white lady saying that that was all AI. So it is becoming more difficult to tell. You're absolutely
It's
right.
becoming more difficult, and I don't know how they can do the difference.
Yeah.
But
Supposedly that cost, we don't want to get political here, but supposedly that was one of the biggest factors in politics recently with this Thomas Massey from Kentucky. They put out a bunch of AI videos of him hugged up, because he's a Republican, hugged up in close to I believe it was Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar, a couple of Democrats. So, and they're saying that these were fake AI videos. And so he may have lost his campaign for re-election due to these AI videos.
that's the thing about AI, man. You don't know if it's real or fake. So just put it out there, man. Just put it out there.
No, it's a valid point here.
I know
all right,
you're
let's get back-
real because I've seen you in real life, so I know you're real. You're not a talking head, sir.
All right, no, I am not a talking head here. I wanted to talk about, just going back to this whole thing about violence. My time in the police department here, as a supervisor, I can tell you that we had to have specific trainings. I remember being a supervisor. We had a specific training. I'm in a training with everybody else, and they're talking about, make sure that we are asking these different types of probing questions to determine, because the way the law was written is you're not supposed to take sides. You're supposed to ask the question, who started the fight? Ask children, ask neighbors, who initiated this, that, and the other, trying to get to the bottom of it. And so many times, myself in a supervisory role, I would get to the scene. Now, I'm not there in every single call, right? Because you had to bounce around and check on different people. So I would show up and I would listen to, just observing how my guys were doing stuff. And next thing you know, they're locking the guy up. I'm like, wait a minute, did you hear what the guy said? This, that, and the other. I had to intervene a lot of times to say, listen, no, this is not the case. This guy has every right to defend himself. Well, he's a guy and he's bigger. I'm like, we were just in a training yesterday. What are you talking about? So it's hard to get this through the guy's head sometimes about how this goes down, because
Society.
of
Yeah.
society. Yeah.
Mhm.
And we can't untangle ourselves from that. And this is what Paul Elam is challenging. We got to untangle ourselves from this type of thinking.
Right.
So yeah.
No, it's true. And also society says never hit a woman. And listen, I agree. You should never hit a woman. But at the same time, though, you got to defend yourself if she starts swinging at you. I mean, that's a
All right, well, let's unpack that for a minute here.
Okay.
Never hit a woman. I got my PhD shirt on here.
Yeah,
for
you
Shine
do.
Bright.
Yeah.
So never hit a woman. Why are women not told to never hit a man? Because you're smaller and whatever.
Sir, you're absolutely right. Yeah, you are absolutely right. Why is it that society teaches don't hit a woman, which I agree with, but society also doesn't teach the woman, listen, don't be hitting a man either. No, if he's not coming after you, if he's not trying to hurt you, why are you swinging at him? And I've heard many women say, well, he can take a hit from me.
Right.
That doesn't justify it.
It doesn't justify it.
That doesn't justify it.
Yeah.
It is still wrong. Putting your hands on another person because you're in the legal department. I mean, putting your hand on yourself, isn't that a assault just by very definition, sir? Yes? No?
It is assault, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So an assault is not gender specific, correct, sir?
Correct. Right.
I rest my case.
So I saw a guy trying to break down the difference between assault and battery and stuff. And where we live in Connecticut, there is no battery; it's just assault. So
Okay.
sometimes an assault could be, I'm gonna punch you in the face, and that would be considered an assault in other states. And then and then the battery would come. We would call it threatening. And then the battery would be the actual physical punch in the face. So that's why people get charged with assault and battery. But that is not the way it goes down in Connecticut.
Okay.
Just got to be mindful about that. So don't come to me if you're watching this from Arizona and talking about we don't know these different laws and stuff. It's different in different states. Assault and threatening and all that is defined differently in different states. I don't know about Arizona. I just threw that out as a state.
No problem, sir.
Dealing here.
I know you've been there, but go ahead.
Sort of motivated by that, I came into this meeting and just asked the group.
Brother, why do you keep starting with me, man? Why do you keep doing that, man?
You travel.
I have been to Arizona. You know when I was in Arizona?
Hello. So why you get mad at me for saying you're in Arizona? Why you
You
get
know what
mad at me?
I was in Arizona in 2012. I was in Arizona in 2012 when I graduated with this degree behind me. This one right here. That one right there. That was my bachelor's degree from the University of Phoenix. That was when I went there. You know who else was at the Arizona? Was at the Arizona graduation in 2012?
You smiling big time. I don't know who said.
And Cheyenne Bryant was there.
I
I
think
didn't know who she was. I didn't know who she was. I was getting a bachelor's degree, so I was with the bachelor's, but she allegedly, supposedly was in the master's degree students and all. I wasn't paying attention. I had no idea who she was. I don't think she was famous yet, so it was just coincidence that she was there. So.
Sir, the way you said her name and the way you smiled.
Yeah, don't try
you
that. I said that
really-
because it's funny. I said that because it's funny. Because it's
really-
coincidence.
You really love that yellow girl.
I do not love that. I do not.
Yes, you do.
I do
All right,
not.
Continue.
If she tried to holler at me through her DMs, I would tell her no. And I mean that.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
No, you wouldn't.
No, well, for long term, I would probably hit it, but I wouldn't. I just don't think she's long-term wife material. I just don't think she is. I think she's hasn't done the healing that she talks about. So yeah. So all right, let's get back to Paul Elam here.
Why are we doing it this way? Why aren't we asking men if they've been victims or women if they've been perpetrators? And the immediate hostile reaction to even posing that question. I mean, if looks can kill, I would have been dead 12 times because that room full of men and women looked at me like I had just, killed their puppy. And I knew something at that point. It was almost like I had an epiphany. This is what I'm going to do with my life. That this is a real problem. And I'm going to start doing something with it. So I started firing off letters. I contacted the people I could. Of course, this was pre-internet, actually. I mean, I think the internet existed, but not in any meaningful way. And eventually the online happened, and I got into the old Usenet news groups back in the day, and there were small gatherings of men talking, and it sort of found a home, and it built from there. And later on, I started a Voice for Men, started writing a lot, and getting attacked a lot. So and it was just like I was right back in that staff meeting. I started putting this stuff out to the world, but that's what got me started. That was my red pill moment.
I appreciate that. I've also experienced that on the mental health side, where when I've raised, discrepancies, double standards, and even heard other fellow therapists and psychologists make certain concerning semi-sexist statements. And then when I would kind of try to reverse it, you would see this visceral reaction. And I'm like, oh, so it's normalized. Like this is standard. And it takes a while for you to realize that there's something more than just it's happening on a one-by-one, but like this is a cultural, societal issue.
Yes, it is.
And when we're first experiencing it's like we don't know what the language is. We don't know how to describe it. We just know we can feel it, we can experience it, and I've definitely gone through that as well. And real quick, I do see somebody already in the chat donated Alpha Dog.
I'm gonna fast forward here because he's gonna read out some super chats here.
Take the superficial aspect and say, well, problems are parental alienation, ruinous divorce settlements, false accusations, paternity fraud. I mean, we go right down the list. These are the problems that are plaguing men's lives.
Yeah.
But I end up digging a little bit deeper than that, looking past the superficial problem. I mean, like years of treating alcoholism, you learn to look past the drinking itself and what's going on here with this person that's causing this.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a little bit of what you talked about when you talked about, why they've gone to the red pill or to the blue pill, because you want to understand the issue. And I try to dig into this when I teach my psychology courses is, why are, again, I teach forensic psychology. So it's like, why do we commit these crimes? Why are people addicted to drugs? What happened? Because a lot of times, and particularly in law enforcement, people just want to lock people up, right? Let's just lock them up. Well, you're solving one issue as far as their incapacitation, but you're not. But they come out and do the same thing over and over again. So you got to get to the root cause of the issues that are plaguing them, causing them to go to drugs, alcohol, become abusive, not know how to talk to people, can't keep a job, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and to take it further, by you not knowing why, then there's a good possibility whatever pathogen emotion that person has, they're going to pass that down to their child. So that's why it's important to find, okay, because most stuff we see, I mean, You have seen it in your job. How many times have you arrested the father, and then many days later, or some years, months later, you arrest the son for for the exact same thing? Why?
Absolutely.
Because it's a learned behavior. Uh, 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 why people, for example, don't come out saying the N word? It's a learned behavior. Someone taught them that based on the color of our skin, you use the N word. All right. So again, we have to get to a place. Uh, I was looking at a documentary, and they were saying in essence, up until the 1600s, people thought being mad or insane was punishment by itself. But in our society, it doesn't matter whether you're mad or sane. We're gonna put you in jail no matter what. We're not going to now. Again, now are there consequences? Absolutely, but we got to figure out why. Because if we don't figure out the why, it will continue to perpetuate in that bloodline in that person's life for continuum. That's all I'm saying.
No, what you're saying is very good there. What you're saying is very good there.
Well, what I find with men is that they are so conditioned to pretty much self-delete when it comes to women. They lower themselves, they struggle, and they work hard. How do I make her happy? I work harder, I do what I do, and it's all about serving women. And it's an ethic that's been handed down for several generations now. Actually, not as far back as most people think. Most people think this sort of romantic chivalry model has been with us as long as man has existed, and it hasn't. It's only been there in our culture for about 200 years. And men are trained that they don't matter, that in the end, their job is to sacrifice, their job is to provide no matter what the cost, and they're trained not to be discerning about women. In all the men that I talk to, and I mean thousands of them, over 40 years of working, I could trace back men's lack of boundaries and lack of standards, not being discerning with women, ignoring red flags. And, it's sort of like you talk about this as a cultural issue. Women aren't even conditioned to hide the red flags.
Mhm.
They're conditioned to advertise them. Put them out there. Yeah,
That's a drop of mic right there.
I thought that's why I wanted to review this with you, because I thought
that's a drop of mic right there, sir. Doesn't even faze them. Doesn't even bother them.
You got to be so tall. You got to have so much money. You got to be able to take care of me and my kids. So what? I'm big boned. So what? I'm fat. What does that matter? You ought to, right? So what? I wear a wig. So where? I have tattoos on my neck. So what? So this is an issue. So I thought what he was saying was very profound. In particular, the fact that men have been taught and socialized to engage in these type of self-deprecating behaviors. Everything's
Correct.
about mama. Everything's about taking care of my wife, and I'll lose sleep. I'll do this, that, and the other, and ladies are just kind of sitting back, just taking it, or receiving, I should say. And the men are just continuing to dole it out to their detriment. High blood pressure, sleepless nights, all kind of violent abuses, verbal abuses, taking this type of behavior.
Yes. But again, men, and this is where we disagree with that. Yes, women need to take responsibility. But a lot of times women don't take responsibility because they don't see their man taking responsibility too as well. So it's really both parties taking responsibility for what you are doing negative in your relationship. It's both parties. When you both take responsibility, life would be so much easier if you throw the rock and you raise your hand. Yes, I threw the rock. But we live in a society where you can have the DNA, you can have the fingerprint, you can have the video, and the guy will still get up in front of the court and say, not guilty. Because we're in a society that says, don't take responsibility. We're in a society that says,
I think they do that for men. I think the point is men are given the responsibility. Men take responsibility. We get arrested more. We do more time in prison. We are suffering from domestic abuse that is underreported and unreported. So I think that there's a lot of things that we're taking, but it's come to the point where ladies are not taking. This is what his point is. Should the women learn a different way of existing, the way that they show up, their socialization needs to change, because if they are being rewarded for it, I just did a video. I did 2 videos on this particular topic about ratchet feminism. Do you ever heard of that term before?
Ratchet feminism. I think that means women who are making 6, 7 figure, but they still act ratchet.
That's very good. That's very good. Yeah.
Oh,
So
thank
that's what. Yeah. No. Well, that's what it is. But the problem with that is, so it's not only the 6-figure women who are college educated, but it's also the bonnet wearing, neck tattoos, and all this other kind of stuff. So there's a mixing of those two, and it's more problematic, obviously, when it's the college educated women who are still acting this way. Now, the problem that I had about it, and 2 videos that I made about this, are because there is a um, an agreement, a pushing of this, a justification of this in academia, in colleges. There are college courses and being teaching. Yes, there are college courses teaching about this. There's peer-reviewed academic papers talking about this is okay. We ought to embrace ourselves, and end of respectability politics. All this type of language that takes away the accountability. That takes away the responsibility. We've seen now, I'm sure that you've seen these dances that are going on when college graduates, people doing backflips and doing all kind of dance. Have you seen those videos?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah. So the ratchet feminists would say, this is us, this is our culture, we embrace it, this, that, and the other. So this is the socialization that we're talking about that is going on amongst men. Now you find me now, people have written books and articles about how men need to calm down. Black men in particular. We need black men need to calm down. Black men need to, pull your pants up, right? Right. The thug narrative about black men. But
Totally.
so that has been pushed against. But we talk about mama. We talk about ratchet feminism. Oh no, we got our college courses about this. This is insane. This is insane.
It's insane because, again, people are not being consistent. They're not saying the rules that you have for me, I have to have the same rules for myself as well. Because without those listen, water is good, but if water does not have its boundaries, we all will be underwater right now. As you know, 2/3 of Earth is surrounded by water. I think it's 2/3. I can't remember. I think it's 2/3. Without the boundaries, come on, people. Without the boundaries, we will all be underwater. So boundaries are very important for society and for couples to really survive and thrive. If I want you to have a boundary, I cannot tell you to have a boundary and I don't have it either. That was the very definition of slavery. Yes, Black people, we love you very much, but we want you to serve us like crazy. And as we know, slavery has been in existence since almost day one. So we understand slavery was not just an American thing. But again, the boundaries have to be for all parties and not just for one. That's
Well, again, I don't like when people say that, because slavery has existed in various forms. And of course, American chattel slavery was the worst because it involved a level of dehumanization. Other types of slavery that existed in other cultures, one could buy their own way out of being a slave, or they could, while they were enslaved, they could have children, they could get married. So there, in fact, I believe it was Genghis Khan and the slaves that they would capture. Some of those slaves were put to use in making inside the higher echelon in the administration, writing notes and papers and things like that. So there wasn't this dehumanization type of aspect to it. So I'm always troubled when I hear people say, well, there's always been slavery. No, American chattel slavery and its dehumanization, you are not even people, has continued not only up until 1865, but continued past 1865. In fact, I would say that we're still dealing with those remnants today, when they still challenge our intelligence. They still challenge whether we're actually American citizen. I just watched a white guy say that a little while ago, right? All this different type of stuff. So that type of thing has been infused in the American psyche and has to be rooted out, in my estimation. So I don't like when people say slavery's always been here.
I will say, I think no one can say that the slavery that we dealt with in America was horrific, but also people may do a comparison with the slavery that the Jews did in the book of Exodus. So the bottom line is rules must be ordained by both. We both have to follow the rules. We don't follow the rules, we'll have the destruction of civilization. Why did Rome fail? Rome fell not from without, it fell from within. Every society, great society really fails from within. And to me, the within is your character and your integrity. How do you treat not just the masses? How do you treat yourself and the person you say you love? To me, that is the quintessential evidence of your mindset. And we're living in a world right now that everything is being governed by social media. Well, if the majority of social media says it's fine, it's fine. If the majority of social media says it's wrong. No, I got to go by character and integrity. Am I treating my neighbor right? Am I doing right by them? Because that, to me, is the ultimate, in my opinion.
All right. A few more minutes of this. I know I gotta let you go.
Yes, sir.
Late. This is my fault. So
Yeah,
I want
sir,
six-figure income. I want this. And yes, my last boyfriend was a
what was that? I'm sorry.
it's never your fault, sir.
I just took accountability. I'm
I'm sorry.
a ratchet feminist. That's why I took accountability.
jerk and he abused me. And the guy before that, my father, was terrible. And guys hear this stuff. And instead of saying, uh-oh, this may not be somebody I want to become legal and financially vulnerable to, they say, I'll take care of you, darling. You can count on me. And then, of course, a few years later, they end up talking to me because their life gets ripped apart and they don't understand what happened. But it started with a single-minded obsession on gaining the approval and affection of women. And that is a dead-end road, as we see in 2026. It wasn't really smart in 1956, but in 2026, it's asking for serious life consequences.
You set a bar just now where you said that men are trained to not be discerning of women and their red flags and their nature. And we're so conditioned to it, even with me engaging in this space and seeing whenever we highlight what those red flags are, you see the vitriol. You see, like, you can't because of that. You can't say that. And I'm like, that's exactly what you're talking about. We're conditioned to not even be able to accept the possibility that there's things that will disqualify women. And women's
we're conditioned to not even think about the possibility that there are red flags. We literally reject that out of hand and wipe out anything that is an obstacle to getting her approval.
Jesus.
And that's what men do.
How did they get away with this for 200 years? How did they do that?
The romantic ethic. I mean, it started 1,000 years ago, but it was just passed around among the aristocracy for a long time. But the romantic standard elevates women in importance above men. There's a reason that men kneel to propose. It's a subservient place. The woman is elevated, moral purity flows through her. She decides who's a good man, who's a bad man. Those decisions aren't left up to men. And that became, after the Industrial Revolution, that became the standard across society. People quit marrying as a business deal, which it was for all of human history, and started pursuing their own hearts.
You had something you want to say? Did I see your hand waving?
So the man bowing his knee.
You're muted or something. I can't hear you. I got you now.
All right. So the man bowing the knee is not him being subservient. It's him representing, as I serve you, you serve me. That's how I look at it. I don't look at it because the way they're taught. Now,
why doesn't a woman kneel?
Because the man is the foundation. So he's representing, I'm your foundation. I am kneeling, so you're resting on me. I'm your foundation. I'm the leader. That's what that means. Because I don't want men to feel, well, listen, have men been duped by women? Absolutely. Have men been fooled by women? Absolutely. But even though those women have done wrong, it still doesn't take away scripture that says Eve sinned first, as you know, right, Reverend Dr. L. But God talked to Adam first. That will never change. Women are changing their names to their husband's name. Why? Because they're showing, I'm being subservient to my husband. I I am giving the needs of my husband. The children don't come out with the wife's name, last name. The children come out with the husband's name. I don't know why men don't understand that point. Amen.
I can't find my thing here. Did you take my banner down? You took my banner down,
sir. Sir,
I can't find my.
Sir, I have one gun. You have several guns. So, sir, no, I didn't take it.
Why are you telling my business, man? Why are you doing that, man?
Sir, I know you have a gun, sir. Guns. You are a former policeman. Amen. Amen.
I want my thing here, man. I can't find it, man. Widgets. What is going on with this? What happened to my thing here? All right. A little bit more of this, and we'll wrap this up here.
Yes, sir.
But they didn't stop to think that infatuation, that form of love, if we want to call it love, is temporary.
Yeah.
And so we ended up thinking, well, if the love fails, then the marriage fails. So if the marriage fails, women need a way out of it. So men pass no-fault divorce laws for them so that they could get out of the contract and still take assets with them without anybody even doing anything wrong. It's just your feelings changed. We got here by training men from birth that their job was to protect, provide, and be subservient.
No, it is to
women's
protect and
needs.
provide.
And we are going to cover both of those points of romantic love and gynocentrism.
We got to come
He
back
said
on
protect to
this.
provide. He said protect, provide, and be subservient. That's what he was focusing on.
I am a servant leader to my wife. I'm a servant leader. Servant leader.
What does that mean to you?
Sure.
Servant leader.
I cannot tell my wife to do if I don't be an example of doing it. Very simple. I cannot tell my wife to do if I'm first not an example of it. So I serve as a leader. Again, you have been under many commanders, sir, who were not servant leaders. They were just dictators. We all know how that ended, right? Because they had this mentality.
I'm not in the camp of servant leader. I did write about it in my dissertation, but I think it's absolute nonsense, quite honestly.
Wait, you wrote about it, but you didn't believe in it?
I did, yeah. Because now they are talking about, they being police officials are talking about exactly what you're talking about, being a servant leader. And I don't think that works. I don't think it works in law enforcement. I don't know if it works anywhere else really, but this is something that they talk about. So I wanted to be listen, I had to get in 45,000 words. So I had to find outside to figure out more stuff to write about. but I am not convinced that servant leadership is viable, is a real thing.
I think it is. Christ was a servant leader, sir. Right, Reverend? He was a servant leader. Right, Reverend?
I don't agree. I don't agree with that.
Right, Reverend. You do know who Jesus is, right? Reverend?
I think that we can. I gotta take another picture of this. I can't find it.
Right, Reverend. You know who Jesus is, right?
I know who Jesus.
And
I've heard
you know he died on the cross, right?
I know that's the story.
You don't believe in the story, sir? And you're right, Reverend.
If I believed in the story, I would be in church, right? I'd be a Christian, right? Wouldn't
I still love you, man. Still love you.
That's a whole nother thing for a whole nother time. But you had something to say about it. Here's why I don't think that particularly fits with Jesus. Here's why. Because or with anyone, because a servant leader means that you're constantly in a role of being a servant. And I don't think that was the case. I think
no. You're not constantly. You're carrying.
I can't even finish what I was saying. I can't even finish what I was saying. You're constantly in a role that is servant leading, being in subservience to someone else. I've read the literature. I'm telling you, this is what it is. So do I think that you can show acts of it? Do I think that can you be there to answer questions? Can you from time to time show acts of showing them how to react and interact with other people? Do I think Jesus did that? Yeah, because he washed the disciples' feet, but he wasn't washing them daily. He wasn't doing that all the time. So that's why I make the distinction about that. Go ahead. I know you want to disagree with me. I know you got to go. So.
Nope. I'm not saying that.
Why?
I'm not.
All right, brother. I know you got to go, man. So tell people where they can find you at, and we're going to continue this next week. I'll be on time.
We must continue this next week, sir. We must continue this next week.
All right.
People can find me at Dr. drtcbrantley.com, drtcbrantley.com, or my church website, rest.org, or my comedy website, which is drbcomedy.com.
All right, brother. Thank you so much for
God
everyone
bless you,
out
sir, for
there.
your time.
No, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Glad we could do this, man. And we'll definitely continue this off. Hit me up when you're going to do this so it's fresh in our minds. We ain't got to wait 3 weeks.
So maybe Thursday or Friday if you want to this week, man.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine with me. Thursday or Friday.
I'll look at my calendar, sir. Also, I have a question for you after we break off as well, sir.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to you. You guys take care. Much love and peace. Hit the like button, subscribe. We got 47. I want to see 50 at least. Let's get it going here. Share these episodes with somebody. Let them know Dr. L and Dr. B are really talking about some good stuff over here. I got to find my you're not gonna believe this, but my thing fell off my wall here. So
I wonder why.
I knew he was gonna say that. I was hesitant whether I was gonna tell you or not, man. It fell off my wall, man.
I wonder why, sir.
All right, y'all. Take care. Much love and peace, y'all.